Scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a 9x12 process video. This is the set of photos that I took for Finn's 8th birthday, and the big old mess of journaling that I did on the eve of his 8th birthday. And just like the one I did of Joe's 13th birthday, I'm wanting to keep this one fairly simple, focus on words and photos, and instead of having a companion pocket page, I only have these two photos because on his birthday it was like 20 degrees in Chattanooga where we were, and these murals, this one mural that I took two angles of was beautiful, even though it's a giant rooster. And I felt like I had enough photos of him in the beginning of the month, in the first set of photos I took this month, that I could just get away with these two photos. So I'm going to kind of put them at an angle on this paper, and I don't love the clouds on this paper. I really like the navy with the outlines of the moon and stars and all of that, but the clouds I don't love, so I'm going to cover them up. And I want to mat these photos on some paper just to add a little bit of color to this page. So I'm trying to organize my thoughts and where I want the journaling block to go. So I am, this video was only about 15 minutes long. That is not how long this layout took, but I lost a bunch of footage in the middle. My camera just randomly turned off, and of course I didn't notice. So I recreated the way things ended up at the very end, which was very fast since I wasn't hemming and hawing. So the speed of this video is almost real time. I think I sped it up to 150%. So that's why it feels like it's moving a little bit slower. You get a little bit more of an in-depth look at the process instead of a sped up version. So I want the photos to be a little bit diagonal across the 9x12, but instead of trying to cut the paper at an angle and make it work that way, I'm just going to cut the paper in a straight strip, and I'm going to mat it on the couple different pieces of paper that I want backing these photos, and then I will just tilt the whole thing at an angle. I didn't feel like messing with angles and trying to make sure everything was right when I did it. So I'm just going to take the easy way out and angle the whole straight piece of paper across my page. And then that top portion, I want to cover up those clouds, and I want to have a little bit more color than just like the navy. So I'm going to pull in this really cute plaid. Finn is wearing a gingham button-up shirt and a what we call an old man sweater cardigan. So I thought that that plaid would match the feel of the layout, and so I'm going to put that at the top. So now I've got two colors matting this photo. So my problem was twofold. One, there are a ton of colors in that photo, and two, I didn't want to detract from them, but I did want to bring out the sort of rainbow effect. So instead of like putting 8 different colors on this layout, I decided to just focus on red and yellow and pull those colors out of the mural, and then make the background that navy, and then sort of, this plaid isn't neutral per se, but it is definitely more in the cool tones, and it's definitely more subtle than the red and yellow. So that was kind of my thought process, is that it would recede into the background a little bit more than if I had chosen, you know, the stripe or something like that. So I'm just trying to make sure that it's straight, and I will trim off both sides. And I didn't have to cut this at an angle either, because when I put that paper block on there, I will put it on crooked, and it'll cover up the fact that that's a straight line. Won't even have to think about it. So now this is ready to go down, just at a slight angle. And the photos are going to go off the edge a little bit. That was kind of the effect that I was going for. And now I need to put on my title. And if you saw my Instagram post on the 21st, which was his birthday, I had a whole big block of my journaling about my thoughts on the fact that he was turning 8, and also how he is my baby, and what his name means to us. And we often joke that Finn means finished. It's short for finished. And so the journaling is sort of about that and him being the last baby. So I'm going to actually make the title of the page Finished, spelled F-I-N-N, like his name. And I'm using these alphabets from Imagine That, which is by Echo Park, Danny Mogstad for Echo Park from last year. It's a great line. And so I need to pull out all of these letters. And I'm trying to make sure that the color balance of these letters, because they are multicolored, works, so I don't put like two reds next to each other or anything like that. And I'm going to put these letters down on the same angle as the papers, but I'm going to put the journaling block down straight up and down to kind of offset that angle. Eventually, at least. Decisions. So I initially put down this navy blue D, but I'm going to change it out for that light blue D. I was going to put the letters over the photos initially, like up off of that navy, but I didn't end up doing that, so I needed to change out that D so that it wasn't navy on top of navy. And you can see that I put the apostrophes around Finn to really draw out his name. This is where the camera went out and I didn't realize it, so we're going to fast forward slightly in just a minute, and I end up moving this journaling block actually to the other side and straightening it out. And then I take some of that plaid paper and I actually put it at the bottom at an angle too. And if it hadn't have cut out, you would have seen me struggle with that decision to try and make this feel balanced. I did a lot of going back and forth with different embellishments and things, trying to make this bottom right corner feel balanced. And I ended up going with this cute little robot holding a sign that says awesome. And then I pull up this banner at the top to sort of offset all of that weight on the bottom. Then I'm just going to add in some stars around the clusters and call it good. This is a little bit busier, I think, than the one I did of Joe, but they both have the same feel to them. Very simple, very focused on the photos and the words. So I'm sorry I lost some of the footage in the middle, but you didn't miss anything too important. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. And if you don't already, go ahead and follow me over on Instagram. I am at Tracy M. Reed. All right. Thank you.